Good morning, crafty cuties. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Sunday. It is Sunday here in the great state of Arkansas. I have all of my pieces now cut out for the quilt pattern that we're going to be making. Yeah, can you guys see that? This is the Grove Quilt pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop. Let me see if I can zoom out just a little. There we go. From the Fat Quarter Shop, I have, like I said, I have all of my pieces now cut out. And I am ready to begin stitching this together. So we are ready to go. I am in no shape, form, or fashion sponsored by the Fat Quarter Shop, just so somebody knows that out there. I just subscribed to the Sew Sampler box, and I loved this pattern when I seen it, and I really wanted to make it. So the only thing that I need to do right quick is set up my ironing station right here beside me. I forgot to do that before I hit the record button. So give me just 1 second. Let me get my ironing station set up, and then we are going to start piecing this block together. Okay, guys. All right, I have my ironing station set up, and we are ready to begin. Got my cup of coffee right here. Sorry. All right. So the first part of the instructions is that we need to take fabric H, which is this. Let me get fabric H. So we have fabric H. Can y'all see? Yes, you can see. Okay, so fabric H, draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of fabric H squares. So let's do that. Hopefully I'm going to catch that in the seam because I didn't realize. All right, and I do have a little mat. Let me grab it right up here. Like I said, I am not sponsored in any shape, form, or fashion by the Fat Quarter Shop. I really love my Sew Sampler box that I get every month, and I get things in it that I probably would never go purchase myself. So, you know, there we go. And I am using a friction liner pen. Can y'all see that? These are erasable with heat. One of my favorite pens to use, and these are the fine line ones. I wish I had gotten the ones with a little thicker nib, but you know, it's almost time to replace some of these. So the next time I will order the ones with a little thicker nib, but the fine line does work. It works well. Just want to get my ruler lined up. And I'm also a really huge fan of Creative Grid rulers because they have this non-slip stuff on the back of it. Huge fan. I'm replacing all of my rulers one at a time, you know, because they're super expensive. And I have quite a few different sizes, everything from a 12-inch down to a 3-inch, down to 1.5. A 1.5. And some of those I got, like the 1.5-inch one, I got in my Sew Sampler box. And my 2.5-inch little ruler came in my Sew Sampler box. So, you know, I don't have to worry about replacing those. But, whoops, I dropped my letter. Let me grab my letter. There we go. Or the cats, I have it everywhere. And you may can hear my smart, dumb vacuum in the background. Okay, so with right sides together, lay a fabric H with a fabric S square and stitch 1/4 inch on each side of the drawn line and cut apart on the marked line. Okay, so I need S. Yep, and I chose this color for my S. So this is my background, and then this is going to be part of my little house. So let me move my little ruler right over there. All right. So anyway, I do hope everybody is having a fantastic Sunday. It's beautiful here. It is so pretty, and it's warmer today. I gotta find my pens. I lost my pens. Let me find my pens. I think I know where they're at. Yeah, they're right here. Yep. Okay, sorry about that. But now I have my pins. Just put them right there. And I like to line my fabric up. I'm very picky when it comes to, like I was saying earlier, the more time you spend prepping your fabric and taking your time pinning, where I'm a pinner. I do like to pin. Sorry, it's a little awkward to get to it with the camera. Well, I'm recording on my phone. So I don't have the greatest setup in the whole entire world to do recording with. But the more time that you spend prepping your fabric, taking your time with the pinning, and sewing, you'll get much better results. And some people out there aren't pinners, and you know what? That's perfectly okay. You don't have to pin. Just because I pin, it's not my way or the highway. That is no. That's not how I am. And that's just not how I am. I'm not one of those it's my way or the highway kind of people. We all do things differently, don't we? We all sew, create, craft. We all do things so differently, and that's what makes us unique and individuals. So anyway, and there we go. All right, so now just reread our instructions to make sure that we are going to do it right. And you're probably going to get to see me when I get a little closer. Let's see, to the sewing machine. Stitch 1/4 inch from each side of the drawing line. Okay. It says make 10. I don't have 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have 5. Let's see if I misread the directions. No, it says 5. Oh, it would be 10 altogether because you're getting 2 from each one. Okay, sorry about that. I will confuse myself in a heartbeat. All right, so let's sew our 1/4 inch from each side of the line. And if a little pin is in the way, I just kind of slide it over. I'm going to slide that one over. Make sure that I am lined up in the corner. There we go. The one thing I forgot to do, I did clean my machine before we started because I had been doing some embroidery. And the one thing I forgot to do was to slide my needle over. I do like to slide my needle as far as I can to the right so that I have, and I'm reaching back for the presser foot because my other machine has a presser foot left, and when I switch machines it takes me a minute to remember this one doesn't have one. So what was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. Yeah. I like sliding my needle as far to the right as I can get it. I find that gives me much more accuracy in my piecing. Just gives me a better finished product. And I don't sell my quilts, so it's not like the product is going to an end user. I usually give all of my quilts away to family members, or if somebody's having a baby. That is so not going to work right there. I am going to have to take that pin out. But all of my quilts are usually given away. I love the craft. I just love to sit down and sew. And it's just what I love to do. Oh, and if somebody asks, I am using Aurifil thread in a off-white color. I switch back and forth between Aurifil and connecting threads. I love connecting threads. Let's untangle that. They're a company based here in the US, and connecting threads. And they source their cotton thread is from here in the States. So, or it used to be. I haven't looked in a long time. To see if they still source the cotton to make the thread here within the U.S. Like I said, I haven't looked lately. I'm fixing to make a thread order. They'll have a sale, a Thanksgiving Day sale, so that'll be coming up soon, a Black Friday sale. Okay, so at the end of each row, I stitch together. Instead of using what I call a thread bunny, and that's what Kate at the Last Homely House calls it, instead of using a thread bunny, I am stitching together 2.5 inch squares like this. I have a project in mind that I want to make with these, and this is a way to accomplish 2 tasks at one time. Leaders and enders, I think, is what Kate calls them at the Last Homely House. And again, not original to me. I love watching Kate, and she does that. So, and I was inspired by her to try it. So I tried it, and it'll help me piece all these little 2.5 inch squares that I have in this box. Have a lot of 2.5 inch squares in that box. It will help me get that task completed too, so I can make a Louis 16, I think it's called a Louis 16 patch. That's what I'm doing with all of those. I've had those charm packs forever, and I do mean forever. And I'm like, they don't do any good just sitting in the thing, in the little tin. They're not being enjoyed, and it's not going to make a very big quilt. But you know what? It's okay. For me, it's okay. And I probably have some fabric that I can add to it and make it a little bit bigger. All right, so let's cut these apart. We're going to cut them apart on the drawn line. You can use a rotary cutter. I just happen to have scissors right here handy. My rotary cutter's way over there. And I use Ginger scissors. These, can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. These are my favorite scissors. Love Ginger scissors. And then we'll press these open to the side, or, you know. And I love the fat quarter shop patterns because it actually tells you which direction to press them to. And I'm sorry you won't be able to see the pressing station as it's over here to my right, and I don't think my camera is going, no, I don't think it's going to pick up that far. Okay. There we go. All right, now let me press these. Okay, so now we need to assemble partial rooftop unit. We are going to use fabric B and B. B. Okay, so this is fabric B right here. I don't know why I have a pen stuck down in there, but I do. All right. You will not use all fabric B strips. We only need to make 10 of these. Okay, so let's pick out some Let's choose which ones we want for the roof line. Let's see. I have 2 of those. Okay. Let's see here. Let's pick out what we want for our roof. What do I want for my roof? Let me see. I'll be right back. I got to decide. Okay, I think I got my 10 strip sets already all picked out. So we are going to start sewing them together. And now these I'm not going to pin. I'm not going to pin this. I am a pinner, but this is just simply sewing together some jelly roll strips. So I am actually not going to pin these together. And we're just going to chain piece them together. I do have a lot of this pink. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and go with this. We're just going to go. Okay. Here we go. Can y'all believe that it is almost Thanksgiving? And like Christmas is just around the corner, and I haven't even really thought about Christmas. I haven't thought anything about what to get anybody, or I've told my kids I don't want them to get us anything for Christmas. I mean, times are hard, and I totally get it. And I told my mom and dad not to get us nothing. We usually make stuff, like my mom and dad and me and Jimmy. We'll make stuff for each other. You know, we don't normally go out and buy stuff. But I love a handcrafted gift. Because let me tell you what, you know, and I'm bad about saying this when I give somebody a handcrafted gift. I'm like, well, I know it's not much, but you know, I made this for you. Stop and think about all the time and energy that you put in to creating whatever it is for this person. You know, you thought enough about them to create this special, whatever it is. If it's a quilt, if it's a bag, if it's a journal, if it's just homemade cookies, you thought enough of that person to actually make something for them, to actually handcraft something for them. And like I said, even baking cookies and putting it in, just that is what? Well, you come around the back and get in. Can you hear him? He's wanting in the sliding door, and he can come out in the doggy door. So, but never tell anybody when you hand them something that you've made, whether it's cookies, it's a cake, whatever it is. Well, I know it's not much, because it is much. You took your time, your energy, and our handmade items cost more than the stuff that you can go to the store and buy. Stop and think about it. By the time you count the time that you took to bake it, to make it, it's yeah. And I love handmade. I love handmade. Love it. One more set, 10 sets. That's what the directions say. My husband gave me, I crochet. He gave me a set of crochet hooks that he turned on the lathe. I mean, the hook part is metal, but the handles are all wooden. And that's what he gave me for Christmas last year. Absolutely beautiful. And like I said, I do crochet some. I'm not a big, huge crocheter, but I do crochet. And I love it that, you know, he spent all that time, out in his shop making something for just me. I love it. Love it. Okay. All right. That goes in my little stack over there. All right, and it says, it looks like they kind of used the same fabric for each one. I didn't. I mixed mine up. So, I'm going to lay these over here, get them out of the way, and a press. And I'm going to press it to the darker side. All right, all of these are now pressed. So our next step is to draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of fabric I and T with right sides together. Okay, so we're going to snowball those that we just did. So let me do fabric T first. So I'm going to do T first. This is our fabric T. And I can put these up. There's Charlie. Charlie, do you mind, buddy? That's my little sweet boy right there. That's my little sweet boy. Thank you for walking on. No, don't lay on my stuff. Hey, now, you're messing my stuff up. Okay. Okay, guys, you got to hold on a second. I got to dispose Charlie off of my stuff. Six, seven. So apparently I did not make enough. Make 10. So apparently I did not make enough. hear you yelling at me. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only have 7, so I need to do 3 more. To sew right there. I am just a very stubborn, because it's me that's causing all the problems. It's not the machine or the fabric. It's me, because I'm angrily challenged, so to speak, I guess you could say. And you would think I'd be smart enough to mark which side I want to sew on. You know, put a S for sew here. You know, when we're snowballing things, you have to make sure that you stitch it on the right side. We shall see how bad I've done as soon as we get the last couple sewed together. Tease it into place, and there we go. All right, let's see how well we have done. Okay, so they go this way according to our directions. Let me see the directions. Yes, it goes this way, and then this folds down this way, just like this. And that looks pretty good. I might stitch right there. I got just a little too far away from that one edge. Actually, I'm gonna leave it. I'm actually going to leave it. Okay, so there we go. I'm just gonna leave it. Charlie Bug is coming up to investigate. So it goes that way. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where's my directions? Yes. And then this folds down this way. There we go. Just like that. I always like to, what I'm looking for is to make sure that I'm lining up here in this corner. Yep. So that looks good. And then this one, and we will fold it down. Yes. And our units are going to measure 4.5 by 11.5. So we'll have to, I'll have to trim these. I do have some trimming I'm going to do on the other ones that we just sewed together. Those have to be trimmed together as well. Trimmed up as well. Perfect. So we will do some trimming here in just a little bit. I may square everything up off camera. All right, so I have all of these trimmed now. Whoops, sorry, get it back here where you can see it. All of them are trimmed, and now we need to take our fabric eye and dry line on the back side, and we're gonna put it on the other end. So let us do that now, and I bet I left my ruler over on the cutting table. I did, but it's right here. No big deal. So all of those are trimmed up, and now we are going to draw a line from corner to corner on here. Snowballing is not, I mean, it's a shortcut in quilting, but it is not one of my favorite things to do in our modern quilting. I normally don't get the greatest results with it. I would rather just piece a block, you know. But like I said, we've come up with all these handy dandy little shortcuts that simplify and make our life as quilters easier. But like I said, some of them I just don't care for. But I do a lot of quilt patterns with snowballing, so you think I would be a little more adept at it, and I'm not. So I'm not at all. Just like with this one right here, I sewed that one together the 3 times the wrong way because it matters on what side you stitch, on what side of the line that you stitch. It makes a difference. So anyway, just my 2 cents for the day. Okay, and then we are going from here to here, checking to make sure that's right. Yes. I need to throw that pen away, it's bent. All right, sorry about that. My husband walked in. Okay, I have all of my units pinned together, and I put an X in the top. I know that this is the side that I need to stitch on, so hopefully this helps. Let's try this. I don't know why I haven't thought of this before. It's just occurred to me that this would be a much better way to keep up with what side you need to stitch on. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the whole snowball thing. I'm really not a huge fan. right, we're almost to the end. We'll see how our blocks look. Gotta give them a press. That means I have to either plug up my other iron. Let's just do that so we don't have to disturb Charlie. Charlie's sound asleep over there on my pressing station that I made for myself. Oh gosh. And then by the time we get these sewn and clipped apart, the iron should be hot. Because we would hate to disturb the Charlie bug. They don't care that I'm trying to make a video. It doesn't bother them. And I learned this on some YouTube channel, gosh, I don't remember who it was, that when you're stitching on these snowball pieces, that if you stitch like a thread width over, not directly on the line, but a 1/4 of an inch, you know, the 1/4 of an inch over, which is what we're doing here. But if it's telling you to stitch directly on the line, if you'll stitch like a thread width over, your snowball will come out much more accurate because it gives you that turn there. I don't know how to describe it, but on this one we were supposed to stitch a 1/4 of an inch from the line, and my little 1/4 of an inch from the line ain't a 1/4 of an inch from the line. So let's see what this is going to look like. Oh yeah, perfection. Okay, so I like that one. All right, so all of these have now been, actually goes this way. All of these have now been stitched together, pressed, and I did trim them up just a little bit because I had some of these that were off just a little bit. So our rooftop units are together. I'm gonna put those over to the side. The next thing that we're gonna make is you're going to take fabric A, and we are going to make the side of our house units. Oh, you can't see it. So we are going to we just made this unit right here, and now we're going to make this side unit right here. All right, so we are going to make these, and I'm going to sort these, kind of sort these out. This is such beautiful fabric. I just love this fabric. It's so pretty. There we go. All right, so, and without too much thought, I'm just gonna pick up, put together, and sew these down. All right, so all of my house blocks, my logs are done. Sorry, I keep forgetting that I can't get it up close the way I have you guys. So these are all done now. So now the next step is to take these that we sewed the very first, and they are attached to this like this. So let's stitch these together. So let's pin them together. And this will be our house blocks. And then we'll need to do our tree blocks will be probably not today. It's taken most of the day to stitch these for us to get these together. Make sure that's right. Yes. Make sure it's right. I gotta make sure. It's gonna be such a stinking cute little quilt when it's done. It's gonna be so cute. That goes like that. Just like that. neighborhood dogs are barking. I hear a little yippy dog somewhere. Great. Okay, let's stitch these. And then we're going to come back and stitch R to this one. So I don't think I'll have to do any pinning on those. Right, so before I cut those apart, we're going to take fabric R. Let me put my scissors up. And fabric R is going to attach to this like that, just like that. So we're going to stitch these down. That way we'll just keep our chain piecing going. And I may decide to go ahead and pin these. Yes, I think I will. I think I'll go ahead and pin these together. Let's see. Just to make sure that we keep everything lined up. did drop a pin. There we go. See, it only takes just a few minutes to pin all this together, and I get so much better results. You know, a little time now saves ripping out later, and that's just how I think about it, you know. I'm making sure my fabric is all lined up. Okay, hold on just a second. Because, okay, yeah, that goes like that, and then that goes like that. Just making sure that I'm putting it together correctly. And the reason I questioned it is because this one's going down, okay? It's because most of these are going up. So that's the only reason why I questioned it. Tease that fabric exactly where you want it. Put a pin in it. Here comes my husband. I'll be right back. All right, so all of the pieces have now been pressed, and we are ready to put this block together. And it goes, let me move some of this out of the way so you can see which way it goes. Got my face in it, don't I? So it goes like this, and then like that. What you think? I think the gray might not have been the best choice, but I'm trying to use what fabrics I have, and these two colors are identical, so I'm going to try not to use something like that. So there we go, just like that. All right, let's get this pinned together. And you could have even used different colors for these, you know, all different colors, but I really do like the gray. So let's get it pinned together and get these stitched, and we will be done with this portion of the quilt. I'm actually gonna pin this one, I'll pin two together, sew this one together and press it and show you what it looks like, and then I will pause the camera and stitch the rest of these together and come back with the finished blocks so you can see what it looks like. And there doesn't seem to be really any any seams that are gonna have to match. So it seems. Is that gonna be too much pink in that one? Decisions. Trying not to overthink it here. Trying not to overthink. Just, oh, let's do this one. Yes, let's do that one. Okay. So I'm going to stitch these two together. Make sure my iron is still hot. Make sure those stay nice and lined up. Go ahead and pull that pin because it looks like there's a little that's going to have to pull in. Even though you're so careful with your pinning and your cutting and your stitching, you know, still have, it still varies. All right, so let me clip that off, and let me clip that one, press it, and then show you the finished. And which way does it say? I love these directions. Okay, press it down, and then you press it down. Oh, that's pretty. And give it one final press on the top. All right, guys, there is our finished block. There's our little cabin. Our little cabin that's going to be in the woods. That turned out so pretty. So pretty. All right, and I'm planning on doing something in the center here of each one of these because, I mean, it's just a plain area. So I'm thinking about some embroidery stitches in the center and maybe along the roof line and maybe along here just to give it some definition. And I think I'll use maybe some black thread. We'll see. But I have some other... we're going to bling this up just a little bit. So we're by no means finished with it. And we could even do stitches maybe along the roof line here to really distinguish between the roof and the side. So anyway, we do have some more playing to do with this block. I'm going to continue to stitch these together and I'll press them. And I will show you the finished blocks and then we'll start on our trees. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye for now, my crafty cuties. Enjoy your week ahead. Have a fabulous, wonderful week. Try to be crafty at some point in time. Share your creations, and I will see you back here later this week.